So, good day, Anusha. Nice to meet you, and welcome to your first counseling session. I'm Vanessa, and I'm going to be your counselor. I hope you're doing well.
Hi, Miss Vanessa. Nice to meet you too. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Thank you for filling up your concern form prior to the session, and I believe that you have aware the we will record every session that is being done, right? Mm,
Yep. Yes, Miss. I'm aware of that.
yeah. Okay, so Anusha, how are you feeling today? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I guess I'm just quite nervous for my first counseling session.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable, but don't be scared, just be yourself. I'm here to help you in any way that I can, and this is a safe space for you. Yeah, so what we say here will stay here lah.
Yeah, thank you. I'll try to be as open as I can.
Yeah. So Anusha, I do remember that in the email you initially contacted me, you did say something along the line of needing counseling because you were stressed. Do you mind to elaborate more on it?
Yeah, sure, no problem. It's just that I guess I've been feeling very stressed lately. Um, but I'm not really sure of the reason why. I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
Hmm. I mean, okay, that is understandable. Sometimes we are just unable to identify the root of the problem and cause root of the cause lah. So until not until we break down the whole situation, only we can find out the reason. Yeah, so that's totally
Mhm.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just want to know, have there been anything different that happened in your life recently, like any big event or significant event that happened in your life?
Mm, Let me think about this, yeah?
Sure.
Uh, I think my relationship with my parents has been quite rocky lately because I don't know, they've just been extra strict and they've been putting a lot of pressure on me as well, like for some weird reason, because they've never been like this, at least not this bad lah, when I was growing up.
Yeah, I see. So, do you mind to describe your current home environment and situation to me?
It's just very chaotic lah, to be honest.
Okay, chaotic. Yeah. Do you mind to elaborate on this?
Yeah, sure. It's just that I'm from a family where I have really, strict Indian parents. Like even now that I'm going for counseling, I didn't even tell them about it because, they don't believe in like mental health. They don't believe in the need of going for counseling. So I guess that's why a part of me is quite nervous that, they'll be angry if they hear that I'm going for counseling. Also, they might be like, why are you going to a stranger and telling all your problems, your family problems and stuff like that. So I guess it's very, very evident that my parents and I have like different point of views. So it's hard for us to be on the same page.
Yeah. Mm. There is a possibility that you guys might having constructing ideas and perspective and behavior due to the generation gap between you guys. From that's what I hear. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about your parents' parenting skills?
I mean, I feel like my parents lately haven't been giving me enough freedom. Growing up, they were fine. It's just that lately, I don't know. I'm turning 20, and I feel like I need to have more freedom, but they've just been stricter. Like they always want to check my phone. They want to see my messages. They want to drop me off at places that I want to go to, and like meet my friends who I tell them I'm gonna go out with. And like lately, they've also been saying that they don't want to let me stay on campus. And sometimes I feel like they're watching, every move I make and they're breathing down my neck. So I just feel so trapped.
Hmm. Okay, I understand. So from what I hear, your parents seems to be monitoring your every movement and you're feeling that they didn't give you enough freedom since you're already 20, they still treat you like a child. Right.
Yeah. because I think right, like after a certain point, it just gets too much, and I don't know. I
Mm.
just seem to be getting very irritated over the smallest things that they do, lah. To be honest.
Mm. Yeah, I can sense that where your stress coming from, and I think some of your anger that you feeling towards your parents is coming out as stress um within you, and also you seems to be quite frustrated when it's come to talking about your parents. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's quite a touchy topic, and I've never actually talked to anyone about this before, not even my friends.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so I heard that you never talked to anyone about this before. So I wonder, have you ever thought of talking about these kind of feelings to your parents?
Mm, I don't know. I mean, I did think about it, but I don't think I'll ever be able to, because they just won't understand because of like the different point of views.
Mm, yeah. So, Anusha, I'm wondering that before you starting like deciding come to counseling session, how did you express your feeling and emotion when this kind of situation happen? When you feel this kind of
Uh,
feelings? Yeah.
Um, I would say I didn't handle it very well, because I usually got really like irritated and annoyed in situations like this, and then proceed to have an argument with my parents, and I'll go up to my room, I won't talk to them, and then because I do have a lot of other things going on in my life as well, so when this is added on, I just get really really stressed like the whole week.
Hmm. Sounds like the issues here is more on your relationship with your parents rather than stress for me. Because from what I hear, right, your encounter with your parents seems to be the reason you are getting stressed, which then interrupt your lifestyles.
Hmm. I never really thought about it that way, actually.
Mm,
And now that I think about it, right, I mean, it kind of does make sense that, the issue is more towards like my parents than it is with stress. Because um I guess like every time I like fight with my parents, that's when I realize like how strict and unfair they are, and that causes me to be like quite lost, and I just feel horrible overall. And I think a part of me also is like very annoyed with the whole situation, because I know that my brother doesn't get treated like this, but I do. So I just feel like it's so unfair.
mm. So you mentioned your brother and you realize that how your family treated differently with you and your between you and your brothers. Is there any specific moment or example that you can provide that when you realize that you're being treated unfair?
Um I remember this one time I got scolded for coming home at 11:45 p.m. And keep in mind, my curfew is 12 a.m. So I would assume coming back 15 minutes before my curfew is completely fine. But I don't know why my parents got really, really angry, even though I went to my friend's birthday party that they knew. And my brother was allowed to like leave from the house at 12:30 a.m. And my parents didn't even say anything. Like they just let him go. So I think a part of me was very like angry, because I was like, how is that fair?
Okay, that sounds unfair for me. I can totally understand where you're coming from. Yeah, so I would like to know about your relationship with your family and and your family. Would you mind to describe it?
Sure, can. I love my family, but I don't know, like, from our conversation earlier, it's just that every time I open up about my feelings to my parents, they just seem to disregard how I feel, and then they like, they tell me I'm being dramatic and stuff like that. So it makes it really, really hard for me to talk to them, which is why, like I said earlier, I don't think they'll ever be able to understand how I feel.
Hmm. Sounds for me. So, sounds like you really love your family, but then you're just having a hard time communicate with them. You just don't know how to communicate and express your feeling with them, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is this the topic and this is this the issue that regarding your family and your communication problem with your family is something that you want to explore?
Yep. Yes, I'd like to.
Yeah. So if that is in this, and so if this case, I think this is something that we can take a deeper look in our future session. Just to do a quick recap, so far we have talked about how you were feeling stressed, which then we discovered that was due to your relationship with your parents, and also how you feel like they don't understand, they treat you differently from your brothers, and then also they made you feel like you are unable to express your feeling and communicate your feeling with them. Um, I think that is the thing that you want to explore, right? Yeah.
Yes, I think for the time being, that is something I would like to look into.
Okay. So Anusha, I'm just aware that we have just got a few minutes left for this session, and I think this is a good place for us to stop our session for this week. So we will discuss yours. Since you already noticed the issue, so I think we can further discuss about it for next week at the same time. Are you okay with that?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, Anusha. So now that the session, your first counseling session, have done, so what do you think about the session?
Overall, I think it went really well. I felt like I could get a lot off my chest because it's not really something that you can go and talk to your friends about randomly. So yeah, it felt good. In terms of like what went well, I would say you do have the ability, in knowing how to guide the session, because I feel sometimes that I also wasn't really sure on what to say, and you did a very good job at that. And apart from that, you also are very good at understanding what I'm trying to say, because sometimes I feel like I can like blabber a bit too much, and then you seem to understand and like kind of feel what I feel, which is really, really good. And yeah, in terms of what can be improved on, or like even better if, I guess eye contact well, but of course it could be messed up due to Zoom as well, because that's a huge problem of doing it online. And one more thing is, I think can be a bit more expressive, but at the same time, I think it's also because of Zoom, it's quite hard to like express our emotions physically, virtually. So yeah, but apart from that, I think it was a very, very good session. And yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. I appreciate your feedback, and for the I wish I can do better if this is not virtual session, but thank you for your feedback. And yeah, I think I will see you in next session. So thank you very much.
Bye.